Alright, I'm going to do a product review here of the Wyze Cam Pan version 2. And one of the new features of version 2 is there's color night vision. So we'll be testing that out and see how well that works. It's a 1080p HD camera. You got audio with it so that you can talk to somebody who is standing in front of the camera. You get free cloud storage for 12-second videos if you subscribe to their Cam Plus Lite, which is free. So this supports 24/7 or continuous recording if you put an SD card in this. This has a 120-degree wide angle lens. This rotates, so it is a pan cam, so basically you can pan around with the camera up and down and left and right, and I'll be showing you that later in the video. So this works with Amazon Alexa, and you have to download the Wyze app in order to use this camera. The other thing is this camera will only work on a 2.4 gigahertz Wi-Fi network, but usually most new routers will have both 2.4 gigahertz and 5 gigahertz, so it should work. Powered by USB 5 volt. This camera cost me about $40, but let's go ahead and unbox it. And take the make sure you take the protective little plasticky thing off. I think this is where the microphone is, but I could be wrong. So on the bottom is where you would put the micro SD card, and there's also a setup button to sync it with the app. It has like a 1/4 inch, I guess, tripod mount. So the way this works is it basically just spins on this little axis. It has a motor, and this is where the cable plugs in. And this allows the camera to move without, you know, pulling the cable at all, since the cable is on this bottom part, so that's nice. Not very many differences on the outside between the Cam Pan version 1 and the version 2. They both basically look the same. The only difference really is on the back. The Pan 1 has a USB port, which you can use to power other Wyze cams. And the little venting here is different than the venting on the Pan 2. So once you plug it in, the red light will come on, and it will basically rotate around, I guess, to like boot up and configure itself. Alright, to sync this with the app, we're going to bring up the Wyze app. So you need to download the Wyze app, and then once you've created an account with Wyze, you want to go to your home page and then hit the plus button. Choose add a device. We're going to choose cameras. We're going to choose the Wyze Cam Pan, and then we'll hit next. Then on the bottom here we want to hit the setup button, which is right here.
Ready to connect.
So you'll check this box right here and then hit next, and you're going to want to put in your Wi-Fi. So once you put your Wi-Fi information in, then you click next, it'll take you to a screen where it's going to display a QR code on your phone, and basically you're going to hold the camera so that the camera can scan the QR code on your phone, and then it's going to say QR code scanned. You hit the checkbox, and then it takes you to this screen where you're going to name your device. So it looks like I qualify for a 2-week free trial of their Cam Plus subscription, which gives you like unlimited cloud video recordings and AI detection of like packages and vehicles and stuff like that. You can also sign up to their Cam Plus Lite, which is free, and it does have person detection and 12-second clips that are saved to the cloud. But we're going to hit continue because it is a free trial, so why not? So it's going to ask about a firmware upgrade. Let's go ahead and do that, and I'll pause the video while it's updating. Alright, the update was successful, so we're going to hit done. And let's play around with this camera a little bit and see what it can do here. Basically in the app you can control the movements of the camera, so that makes this different from a normal Wyze camera where the view is fixed essentially. So if I hit this button, the camera's going to move. If I hold, it's going to kind of rotate around. So this is going to be good for like a big room, or I'm putting this outdoors to kind of like look at my front porch and my front yard. You know, you can also make it go up. So there I am right there. Or down. So So you can turn the sound on, but I'm not going to do that because it's probably going to create an echo. Take a photo and it'll save it to the album. Let's say, you know, you're in another room and you want to talk to somebody who's in front of the camera. If you tap that speak button, you'll be able to talk to somebody. There's also a record button, which will let you save a recording of what is being viewed right now by the camera. That saved the video. If we hit more, it's going to show us motion tagging, which will basically, pretty self-explanatory. It's the green box that you're seeing around the ceiling fan, basically tracking any motion. Motion tracking is the camera will actually track me when I move. So I've seen that the motion tracking is not really the greatest with this camera, but let's see if it will track me as I move around here. Yeah, so it does track you a little bit. Alright, there's the pan scan option, and basically what that is the camera will scan, will pan back and forth automatically according to waypoints that you've set in the software. So it's doing this automatically. I'm not doing anything. So it's basically just panning back and forth. And I'll show you how to set up those waypoints later. So that might be something that you may be interested in doing. Album is just going to bring up your, pictures and saved videos. Time lapse. This is something that I believe all Wyze cameras support. A period of time and then sped up. And then there's a siren. So that's something that maybe you would want to use. Scare somebody away. There's a couple other things. In the left hand corner there's HD, so you can change the quality of the video. The screen of the bottom of the app, you can hit view playback. I don't have an SD card in there, so it's not going to really do anything for me if I hit that. If you have like the Cam Plus Pro subscription or whatever, then you can also save recordings to the cloud and whatnot. Also in the upper right hand corner you can change the night vision, so I just turned it on. Normally it's auto, it's going to be black and white. I can turn it off. And the thing about the color night vision, if there's some light it will activate the color night vision, but if it's completely dark then it's going to go black and white. So let's hit the gear wheel in the top right, and that's where you change your settings. And the first setting is just the name that you can change. Then detection settings. This is, you're gonna set, sensitivity, how sensitive it is to motion or sound. You can also create a detection zone, which will let you only detect motion in a certain part of the view of the camera. So if I enable this, and it might take a second here, I can basically select the areas, only these areas that will trigger the motion, and have the camera ignore everything else. That's helpful especially if you have a camera outside and there's like blades of grass blowing in the wind and you're always getting, notifications about that. You can use a detection zone to kind of reduce the number of those motion triggers that are not useful. Go back. Event recording is going to be what shows up every time the camera records an event. So right now it's set to detect motion. So smart detection is going to be if you subscribe for a service like Cam Plus or Cam Plus Lite. With Cam Plus Lite you get the person detection, which sometimes it's good and it will detect people, but occasionally it will think that a car is a person or a bird is a person, so it's not foolproof. With the Cam Plus, which we've got a trial of, it will also do package detection, vehicle detection, and pet detection. Let's see, and schedule, you can schedule it to, I guess, record events all day. Alright, notifications would be kind of like the push notifications that you get on your phone saying that it detected, a person or it detected motion. Let's see, alarm settings. This is kind of an interesting feature where it can detect if a smoke alarm has sounded or a CO2, carbon monoxide alarm has detected, so I'll go ahead and enable those. If you go to advanced settings, you can record to a micro SD card. I believe this only supports 32 gigabytes. But there are people who have done 64 or 128. I've never been able to get that to work in my experience, but let's see, motor controls. This is where you're going to set the speed of the rotation, how fast it's going to turn, as well as the waypoints. So this is how you would set waypoints. So if I hit waypoints, I can basically move the camera and say, okay, I want this to be a waypoint. All right, now we're going to move the camera over here and create another waypoint. So that should have created 2 waypoints. So now if I hit preview, it should scan back and forth between those waypoints. So you can kind of set it up so that it kind of patrols an area, I guess. So if we hit preview, it should go to one waypoint, and I think it stays there. It says, oh yeah, 10 seconds. And then it will automatically scan, there we go, to the other waypoint. So that's if you want to set that up. Let's see, we'll just hit save. And also night vision mode, auto means it will just automatically detect when to turn the night vision on. And night vision, this will just determine, if you're in a really dark area, you probably want to have it set to dark, and if you're in an area where there's a little bit of ambient light, then you can do the dusk. Night vision, IR lights, that's basically what lights up things, the infrared lights. Camera status light is going to be a little light on the front, a little blue light, so you can toggle that on and off. And rotate image 180 is going to be if you were to mount the camera upside down and you wanted the view to be right side up. Timestamp will be the date and time. You can have the Wyze logo appear on your video. You can choose whether you want to record sound in the video, and then syncing the time will just make sure that it is recording with the accurate time and date. Rules is just the same thing that you can do with a lot of different Wyze devices, where you can set schedules where like a light comes on, or you could set a schedule where the camera turns on or starts recording something at a certain time or interval or whatever. Let's see, sharing is if you want to share the camera with somebody. So if somebody else has a Wyze account and you want them to be able to see this camera but nothing else from your account, you could share that. So device info is just going to give you information like the serial number and all that stuff, and what firmware it is. And then if you want to manually restart the camera, it has the ability to do that. And then this would be Wyze support if you have issues, you want to contact support. So that's basically all the settings for this camera. So this is what the audio from the camera sounds like. Previously I've been using the audio from my phone, so this is what it actually sounds like when the camera is recording audio if somebody's standing right in front of it. So my plan is to put my pan cam outdoors, so I bought a little outdoor kind of kit to help protect it. It's basically just like a silicone sleeve that goes over it. Looks like a little birdhouse kind of. And then there's this mount here with 3 screw holes. And I got a couple little these clips. These are like siding clips so that you don't have to drill into your house's siding, but it'll just like clip underneath. So if you're interested in having this outdoors, this is an option for that. And this is what the pan cam looks like on the outside of my house. It has those clips that clip under here so that you don't have to drill into the siding. And it's got the little rubber raincoat on there. This is the sound from the Wyze Cam pan when I'm standing directly in front of it. So